speaking of the actual real royals who we love, and my audience knows, even if I don't get the names right all the time, or I don't say the perfect thing, I have such reverence for the monarchy, and I love the Queen, and I love everyone. So forgive me if I don't say everything perfectly. But there was this story in the New York Post the other day about how Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are going to have no role when Prince William becomes king, and he's already planning this out. And it's really not so much that he said they are not going to have roles; he's just not mentioning them at all. There's just a moratorium on them. Tell me what you think is going to happen when Prince William ascends and takes the throne.
Oh, no, it will be active. It won't just be, I'm ignoring this. It will be, your titles are stripped. You are gone. You are banished. He doesn't even want Harry at his coronation. I mean, that is extraordinary. That shows you how far things have fallen. I don't think there is a way back. I really don't. I guess you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Will a divorce change things? Maybe. But remember, Prince William set Harry these very, very clear red lines, and he crossed every single one of them. Right. And the one for him, Link, that was so personal was Catherine. It was like, do not come for my wife in spare. And what did he do? He came for Catherine. Mm-hmm. And so there's no going back. William is a very strong-minded guy. You know, he's not someone you want to mess with. He's not someone you want to cross. And I'm not saying that he's horrible, because he's certainly not. He's actually a very kind and caring person, and staff love working for him, Link, and are loyal to him. You know, like, he has all of his former staff members still advising him, still in the WhatsApp. They respect this guy. But you also don't want to cross him. You know, he can be very tough, very fiery. And Harry had so many chances, and he threw them all away. But the thing that's been most astonishing for me over the past couple of weeks is that Prince Harry is so deluded that he genuinely believes that he can raise his two children, Archie and Lilibet, in the United States, say that it's far too unsafe for them to ever return to the United Kingdom, actually, like, sort of use them as a pawn so that poor King Charles, who is suffering from this terrible, incurable cancer, has no relationship with 2 out of his 5 grandchildren, and then genuinely believe that they are going to have a royal role. Like, Harry has briefed to the left-wing Guardian newspaper that he wants to leave that option open for Archie and Lilibet, that one day they could just walk in as like these Californian teenagers at 18 years old and say, give me a job, William. It's not going to happen. Now, no one blames these 2 poor children. I mean, I was listening to Maureen Callahan the other day predict that she thinks, you know, eventually these 2 will move as far away from Harry and Meghan as possible. And that's certainly a possibility. I mean, if I were them, I would grow up and I'd think, oh my God, like, you stole the opportunity for me to live history. You stole the opportunity for me to meet and spend time with the greatest monarch that has ever lived in Queen Elizabeth II. It's certainly possible. But look, William has absolutely no intention of allowing Archie and Lilibet back into the fold. At the moment, based on where his head is at, all of their HRH titles will be stripped. So Harry will lose his HRH, Meghan will lose his HRH, Archie will lose the HRH, Lily will lose the HRH. And the reason that will be given is that he wants to slim down the monarchy. But really, this is a lot about personal vengeance. His hatred for Meghan, and I do not use that word lightly. You know, that's a big word to use. Mm-hmm. But his hatred for Meghan is overwhelming. But his complete disgust at his own brother is actually something that probably eats away at him even more. Now, I do agree with the reporting that says he talks a lot less about this now, because you know what it's like, Link. Time is a healer for everything. Like, of course, you never get over something like losing your brother altogether, but you accept it. And obviously, in the past year, his focus has been, holy shit, I nearly lost my wife. Like, Catherine nearly died. Like, that's how bad things were. So all of a sudden, all of the dramas with Harry were insignificant to him because he was totally worried about Catherine. That was his number one priority. But also, he was the main caregiver to the 3 children for a period too, while also having to do quite a lot of royal work because Charles was obviously off the stage. So I don't think he's going to forgive Harry. You never know what's going to happen, but like in terms of the marriage, but I think it's very, very unlikely there's a way back.
Absolutely. I think my take on it is Prince Harry is probably obsessed with Prince William and what's going on in the UK, and he's just stewing over it in the mansion in Montecito. Seems like Prince William, his life has gone on. He's busy with Catherine, he's busy with the kids, he's busy with his royal engagements, his duties, his father. He has all this going on. He really probably just isn't thinking about Harry that much anymore. And time has passed. They left the royal family, I believe, in 2020, right before the pandemic. Harry and Meghan, absconded to California to stay at Tyler Perry's house, and Tyler Perry doesn't seem to be doing so well right now. But they left 5 years ago. And I imagine Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids are going to Google themselves someday, maybe when they get into middle school or high school, and they're going to go, oh shit, we're royalty? You didn't tell us? We're in the house with Doria Ragland and, playing in the yard. We could have been royals. You know what I'm saying? Those kids are going to be so pissed someday. If I grew up, it's almost like, oh, what was that movie where she was kept inside or the kid was kept inside or something? It's like, you're going to Google yourself. Was it Room or something? Room. You're going to Google yourself, or like a Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She's going to discover she can walk. It's going to be like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids are going to discover we're royalty. You assholes didn't tell us. Oh my God.
Because the thing is, even if they love being in America, there's absolutely no reason. I'm not going to bore you with all of the details about the security case, right? But just trust me, there is no reason for Harry not to bring the children to the United Kingdom. He is throwing the almighty strop, and it's just pathetic.
It's so pathetic. And, Prince Harry, for him to say he doesn't feel safe in the UK, he can't bring his kids back to the UK, but then he's going around ringing doorbells in random neighborhoods and knocking on doors. What was that about? Was he looking for a hookup? Was he looking for what's it called when you pick up drugs? See, I'm such a goody two-shoes. It was, he's looking for something. And so Prince Harry, for him to say...
He looked wired. And it's like, if you're so concerned about your security, what are you doing cruising up and down a very dangerous street in central London? That was odd. And the thing is, some people have sympathy for Harry. I don't, to be honest. I think he's acted appallingly, but he's not in a good place, Ling. He's not in a good place at all. This is a guy who has been ravaged by drink and drug addiction over many years. And you're so right to say that actually his life is completely stuck in the past, because he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything. Spotify literally were like, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? He doesn't know what working is because he's never had to work. He's just a guy who likes to show up at events and shake hands, but it's like, that's not going to get you paid $100 million a year. And the thing that I've found so devastating for him over the past couple of weeks, I've spoken about both of these on my show, is that there were 2 media organizations who have been staying loyal to Harry and Meghan, and they were People Magazine and Us Weekly, right? And I care about the stuff. I know you care about the stuff too, because I used to be, in the tabloid media. And it's like, those 2 magazines are like the 2 last great surviving American tabloids. And the new editor of Us Weekly is a guy called Dan Wootton, who used to be the editor of People Magazine. And he has basically gone to Us Weekly and said, Harry and Meghan, we're going to be your champions. We're going to be your supporters. And we're sort of competing with People Magazine, right? So they're competing against each other. But in the last 2 weeks, both People Magazine and Us Weekly have turned on Harry and Meghan with covers that are People did a pro Kate cover, and it was like, she's poised and she looks amazing. She's the queen in waiting. And then just today, Us Weekly has released a pro William cover, and I read it, and it's like, oh, I know they're trying to spin this in a positive way for Harry, but what they're effectively saying is like, William is totally focused on his duties as king, and he's planning all of this stuff, and Harry basically has done nothing since coming to the US. So I find it really fascinating that even the media allies that they once had have had to realize, sort of like, oh God, we backed the wrong horse here.
Absolutely. I mean, Harry and Meghan are radioactive. Everything they touch turns to crap. I understand Ted Sarandos and Netflix are trying to help them and push their career along with As Ever, and they're probably recycling the old footage. But everything they try to do goes down the tubes. And then you have William and Catherine, who have the highest popularity and favorability in all of these polls. People love them. You go on social media, the videos have millions and millions of views. There are young people discovering William and Catherine who don't even know much about the royal family. They don't know the history at all, but they're just falling in love with them as characters in the public sphere.